Marcus Aurelius had two options: trust a system that was falling apart, or make the ruthless call that might save an empire. He chose the hard way. That decision kept Rome alive for 1,500 more years. Now here's the truth. Most entrepreneurs today fail for the same reason Rome almost did. They make emotional decisions. 73% of businesses collapse because founders chase shiny shortcuts, react on impulse, or freeze in fear. But 2,000 years ago, the Stoics built a decision system so sharp that modern CEOs pay $50,000 just to copy it. You're about to get it for free. This is the business vault, and this is how you make unbreakable decisions. Every single day, whether you realize it or not, you stand at tiny crossroads that quietly decide whether your dream grows or dies. Do you hire that promising candidate now, or gamble on finding someone perfect that may never appear? Do you launch your product into the world while it's imperfect, or keep tweaking and tweaking until the moment to act has slipped away? Do you accept investor money to scale fast, but surrender control, or do you keep your freedom and risk burning through your savings? Do you finally cut that high-performing but toxic team member, or keep hoping they'll magically change before they poison everything you've built? Most founders do what humans have always done when the stakes feel enormous. They freeze, trapped in endless loops of what if, doing nothing until the choice is made for them. Or they jump, letting gut feelings and adrenaline call the shots, only to regret it when reality bites back harder than they imagined. The Stoics saw this same flaw in human nature over 2,000 years ago. They understood that the true threat was never the enemy outside. It was the fear and impulse inside. So they created a system, brutally clear, painfully honest, to break the cycle of hesitation and reckless moves. A decision framework strong enough to help emperors hold empires together when the world was burning down around them. It worked then, and it still works today. Because if you want your business to survive chaos, and you want your mind to stay calm inside it, you need more than luck and passion. You need a system that cuts through fear, silences doubt, and makes you unshakable no matter what. That's exactly what you're about to learn. So, how did the Stoics make ruthless, clear-headed decisions when the stakes were life or death? They didn't trust luck. They didn't follow emotions. They didn't hope problems would solve themselves. They used a framework, 3 simple steps that any founder can use today. Step 1, the dichotomy of control. The first question Marcus Aurelius asked before any decision was brutally simple: what's mine to control and what isn't? He could control his strategy, how he deployed his legions, who he trusted, how prepared they were. He could control his discipline, his own mind, his patience, his daily actions. But he couldn't control the weather that ruined supply lines. He couldn't control whether rival generals betrayed him. He couldn't force distant provinces to stay loyal forever. So he wasted zero energy worrying about the parts of reality he couldn't bend to his will. For you, it's the same. You control who you hire. You control how well you execute your plan. You control your reaction when things go sideways. But you can't control your competitors. You can't control random economic swings. You can't control how people feel about you on social media. So drop it. Pour every ounce of focus into what is in your hands, and 80% of decision stress dissolves overnight. Step 2, the virtue filter. Next, the Stoics asked, does this choice make me more just, wise, courageous, or disciplined? These weren't empty words. To them, virtue was profit-proof. If a decision broke their character, no matter how much gold it promised, it was poison. When Marcus had the chance to slaughter an entire tribe for a quick military win, he refused. Mass execution might have solved his problem today, but it violated justice and inflamed rebellion for years. Instead, he negotiated peace, a harder path short-term, but it preserved Rome's strength long-term. In your business, your virtue is your moat. Ask, does this deal, this hire, this launch make me proud of who I'm becoming? If it corrodes your integrity, it will cost you more than money later. Step 3. The long-term lens. Finally, Stoics zoomed out. Will this decision still be wise in 10 years? Marcus knew that a short-term victory meant nothing if it rotted the empire from within. Every decision had to survive the test of time, not just headlines or quarterly numbers. So when you stand at a fork in the road, ask, in 10 years, which choice builds the company you're proud to lead? Which decision compounds trust, loyalty, and resilience? Quick wins are sweet, but they vanish overnight. Good choices stack up. They compound like interest. They build an empire no storm can wash away. This is how the Stoics made impossible calls under impossible pressure, and why their lessons still outlast every trend, tactic, or shortcut we chase today. And now this framework that saved entire civilizations is yours too. Use it, and you don't just survive chaos, you thrive because of it. You don't need to be an emperor for this to matter. Picture this: 2 deals on the table. Partner A slides you a fat check, fast money, flashy promises. But behind that grin, strings attached. The moment you sign, the clock starts ticking, and your freedom starts shrinking. One board meeting later, the ship you built is no longer yours to steer, and deep down, you know it. Partner B, smaller check, slower path, but the vision stays clean. The culture you built stays strong. The mission is still yours, and so is the risk, but so is the reward. So you run the Stoic playbook, clear-headed, honest, no illusions. You ask, what's truly yours to shape right now? Your preparation, your questions, the deal you negotiate before the ink dries. You can't bend the market to your will or predict what they'll do a year from now, but you can walk in prepared enough to handle it. You check, who keeps you steady when the heat turns up? Who matches your standards, your ethics, your bigger reason for building this in the first place? Which deal lets you look your team in the eye, knowing you didn't sell out the culture you promised to protect? You project 10 years ahead. Who's still in your corner when times get ugly? Which decision feels smart when you're older, wiser, and have real scars to prove it? Are you the founder still setting the course, or just another name on a buyout memo? Too many founders grab the big bag fast. They trade vision for validation and freedom for speed. Then the fine print catches up, and the same people who wrote the check write you out of your own dream. The Stoic founder stays dangerous. They play the longest game in the room. They know fast cash burns hot and leaves nothing but ashes. But integrity stacks like compound interest. Look around. The legends get this. Patagonia didn't fold when investors demanded shortcuts. They doubled down on their values and outlived the competition. Warren Buffett's empire wasn't built on hype. It was built on discipline, patience, and saying no to 99 shiny traps for every one real opportunity. So next time easy money comes knocking, ask yourself, does this buy me freedom or sell it? Does this partnership protect my principles or pawn them off for a payday? Run the framework. Ask the real questions others are too scared to ask. Protect your culture, your name, your legacy. Because empires don't crumble from bad luck. They die from sloppy calls that look sweet in the moment, but rotten in the rear view. Filter 1, negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. The Stoics had a ruthless trick. Before any big leap, they pictured the worst-case scenario in detail. Seneca called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Before making an investment, he'd ask himself, what if I lose it all? What if partners betray me? What if disaster strikes when I'm least ready? By rehearsing ruin, he robbed it of surprise. When you see the worst clearly, you stop being ruled by the fear of it. Seneca died the wealthiest philosopher in Rome, not because he took no risks, but because he knew exactly how much ruin he could carry without losing himself. Do this for every decision. Ask, if this fails spectacularly, can I survive it and rebuild smarter? Filter 2, the view from above. Marcus Aurelius used another tool. He'd lift himself mentally to a God's eye view, looking down at his problems like an eagle seeing the whole battlefield. He asked, Will this choice matter in 100 years? Will this fight matter even next month? This filter kills ego. It shows you how small today's panic really is in the vast sweep of time. When your mind zooms out, pride fades, panic shrinks, and only the choices that truly shape your legacy remain. Filter 3, present moment, clarity. The final filter is brutal in its simplicity. Don't solve tomorrow's chaos today. Epictetus taught, focus only on what needs choosing now, this hour, with what you know. Most founders spiral because they try to predict 1,000 twists that haven't happened yet. They drown in what-ifs and maybes. The Stoic stays anchored in what is, making the best possible call one moment at a time. Because no empire is built in a day, but every empire is lost when you ignore the day in front of you. Together, these 3 filters make your decisions unbreakable. See the worst, rise above the noise, choose only what's real, right now. That's how you lead like a Stoic and last longer than the chaos you face. The Stoic decision matrix. Most people treat every problem like it's equally urgent. That's why they burn out. The Stoics didn't waste time on noise. Draw 4 simple quadrants. Quadrant 1, high control plus high impact. This is your battlefield. These are the moves only you can make that change everything. Hiring key people, shaping culture, setting vision, sealing game-changing deals. Spend 80% of your decision energy here. This is where empires are forged. Quadrant 2, high control plus low impact. These are tasks you can fully manage but that don't move the needle by themselves. Systematize them. Automate, delegate, create checklists. Clear your mind for the real fights. Quadrant 3, low control plus high impact. External forces that can rock your world but aren't yours to command. Market shifts, economic cycles, global trends. Watch them, prepare for them, but don't obsess. Build resilient systems so when the storm hits, you bend, not break. Quadrant 4, low control plus low impact. Gossip, petty drama, distractions that steal your focus and add no value. Ignore them completely. A Stoic leader guards their attention like a fortress. The 24-hour rule. The second implementation tool is deceptively simple. Wait. Never make major decisions on the spot, no matter how sweet the deal sounds or how much pressure's in the room. When a big call lands on your desk, buy yourself 24 hours. Walk away. Sleep on it. Your conscious mind races in circles, but your subconscious keeps working the angles, weighing the risks, seeing red flags you missed in the heat of the pitch. Marcus Aurelius wrote every night to clear his mind. Seneca drafted letters to test his arguments. They knew haste makes regret inevitable. Clarity only comes with pause. One day could save you 10 years of cleaning up a bad move. The Council of Advisors. When your own thoughts get tangled, call your counsel. The Stoics themselves. Marcus Aurelius ruled the greatest empire under siege and stayed calm. Seneca navigated Nero's madness and grew his wealth anyway. Epictetus rose from slavery to become one of the sharpest minds ever born. When you hit a wall, ask, what would Marcus decide? What trap would Seneca see that I don't? What truth would Epictetus cut to the heart of? No sugarcoating? This mental counsel cuts through your blind spots better than any overpriced guru. Their principles survive plagues, assassinations, betrayals, revolutions. Your next product launch is child's play by comparison. Together, these 3 systems, the matrix, the 24-hour rule, the council, make the Stoic frame. Let's make this real, because frameworks mean nothing if you never see them work in the trenches. Last year, my company hit a classic crossroads. I could sprint ahead with borrowed millions, copy my competitors, grab headlines, chase that rocket ship growth story. Or I could do what felt harder, stay lean, grow only as fast as real revenue would allow, and protect total control. The shortcut was shiny, so I put it through the Stoic gauntlet. What did I truly control? My spending, my team, my promises to customers. I couldn't control interest rates, investor moods, or the global economy's next meltdown. what protected my principles. Slow growth kept my standards high. No half-truths to lure in reckless money. No backroom deals to buy time. What did the future demand? In 10 years, debt might buy speed, but it can also buy regrets. Patience builds foundations that last when trends flip. Could I handle the worst? Seneca wrote, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." He faced risk head-on, but only risks he could outlast. If the debt plan failed, the fallout would bury more than my balance sheet. It would kill my freedom. Did it matter in the big picture? If you're not building something that outlives you, what's the point? So I chose the Stoic path, took the slower road, watched debt-fueled rivals burn bright, then crash when the market sneezed. Meanwhile, my company stayed calm, stable, and quietly profitable. No desperate investor calls at 3 a.m. No diluted control, just steady compounding month after month. That's what real Stoic strategy looks like. No panic, no hype, no shortcuts, only choices you'll stand by when the dust settles. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Not. When you see decades ahead, you stop letting fear or greed pick your path for you. Your next big decision is closer than you think. Maybe today, maybe before you sleep tonight. Most people will react with fear, ego, or blind guesses. Not you, not anymore. Here's your real test. Pick one decision you've been putting off. Ask, what can I control? Run it through your virtue filter. Zoom out 10 years, sleep on it. Ask yourself, what would Marcus Aurelius do? Then act and watch how clear things become. If this hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with one friend who's about to make a big call. Someone who needs to hear this right now. That share might protect their dream too. And if you want more no-fluff Stoic tools to build an unshakable business, subscribe now. Your click tells the algorithm to send this wisdom to more people who actually want to build empires, not chase shortcuts. This is the Business Vault. Ancient wisdom, modern power. Protect your freedom. Build something that lasts.